What's up? Back again. You know who it is, Big Hendo. You know how I got another superstar in the building, man. I'm excited for this one, bro. I got a superstar from all the way from Oceanside. Big Bishop Snow in the buildings. What's up, big dog?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I want to appreciate you for coming in, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan. I've been listening to your music for a long ass time.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Bro, the first question I want to ask you for a long time, man, what the hell is your workout plan, bro? Because you a big motherfucker, bro.
Man. I mean, I have a workout split. I have a very specific workout split that I've been working on for about... I've been working out for the last year and a half straight. So every day, every week, I basically just start with shoulders.
Yeah.
Shoulders and triceps, and then the next day, back bicep. After that, chest, tricep, and then last day is leg day, and then I have a rest day. But within the last 8 months, I would say, I started implementing creatine.
Okay.
I kind of eat like shit. Honestly, my diet is horrible.
Man, bullshit. Look at this dude. This dude's a silverback.
And I eat, Taco Bell, Cane's, nah, real shit. Mexican food, sushi. I eat everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I eat horribly. I'm not even gonna lie, but.
So how do you stay so big, bro? Because it's like, man, I eat a burger and I gain 10 pounds, bro.
It's kind of, I wish I could kind of gain weight like that easily, but I really can't. I mean, there's a lot of different health things as far as like my thyroid. It kind of made it so that way I can't. It's harder for me to gain weight, so I had to regulate that. And then within that, it kind of there's just a lot of stuff with that. So once I regulated that, it made it easier for me to gain weight, gain mass, maintain it based off of my diet and then my calorie intake.
Yeah.
Cutting out alcohol at one point in time too. Alcohol is really big when it comes to your workout routine and the recovery and not to get scientific, but protein synthesis and all that shit. So the muscle recovery itself, alcohol kind of just disrupts all of that. And so with creatine, the monohydrate that I take, I just drink a lot of water. I slip off of it a lot of the times, but I try and have a gallon a day of water.
That's crazy, bro.
And basically, what that creatine does is it takes all your water intake and it, helps with the muscle recovery. So I pay attention to that stuff a lot in order to maintain. But I push myself in the gym too.
Yeah. A
lot of the times I push myself. So within those workouts, I do 7 to 8 workouts each day, 14 reps, 4 sets each workout. I go with the heaviest I could go.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, so I take it very, very seriously as far as my workout routine, and I just push myself and make sure that I'm there, and I keep, I just put my headphones in, my AirPods. I can't do shit without my AirPods. You know what I mean? And
I feel you.
Work out, get in there, get the shit done, and then get up out of there.
Yeah, you hella disciplined, man. That's one thing I'm trying to get in shape and lose a little bit of couple pounds because I got kids now. And they leaving me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, bro. It's possible, man. It's possible with anything. I feel like everybody has a different body type. And, everybody's body reacts to things a certain way. But I feel like within, I've seen a lot of pictures and videos recently of me back, even beginning of this year. I was a lot skinnier, even though I was working out consistently.
Yeah.
But it was really the creatine intake and really just pushing myself and the supplements I was taking. But it's really just creatine. I'm completely natural, so I don't take any of that extra shit.
Bro, man, you make it seem so easy, man. I just take some creatine. I look like a silverback, you know what I'm saying, bro? Man, I've been...
There's a lot. There's a lot to it, and trying to maintain it. And, with anything, consistency is key. You know what I mean? Bro. So just trying to, have that discipline and make sure that I'm on top of shit and that I'm just really just going at it every day.
Yeah, man. Man, I want to appreciate you for coming on too, man. Like I said, I know you're busy, man. You travel out from Oceanside to come kick it with a brother, man. That's a lot. To me, that's a far drive, you know what I mean? So
thank you for having me,
I'll be going to Oceanside. I'll be like, damn, it's like an hour to get up here. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't too bad, honestly. It was I thought I was going to be running late, and then I looked at it and I had to grab some extra stuff for the gear that I was wearing, and I was just like, all right, cool. It's 33 minutes from Oceanside down here.
Yeah.
Which, this isn't too far. It's not like Daygo. It's Daygo, but it's not like I thought it was going to be downtown or you know what I mean? When you told me you were in SD, I thought I was going to have to go to something. Something. I thought I was going to go far, but then when I looked at it, it was closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was cool to drive down here. It's always good to drive down here.
Yeah, we're close to North County though, man. But I like going up to Oceanside though, man. How was it coming up in Oceanside, bro?
It was a lot different back then.
Yeah.
Now it's a little different. I don't really know exactly what it is. I guess I have to try and think about it and pinpoint exactly what made it different compared to back in the day. The culture is a lot different, I would say. We still have, culturally, Oceanside is still Oceanside. But there's a lot of, when you get there, the development has changed. So downtown looks different.
Right.
The way that they do a lot of things. But growing up in Oceanside, it was very treacherous.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people kind of hear about Oceanside and they don't really expect it to have the background that it does.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I guess you could talk about, you can't really talk about Oceanside's history without talking about the streets and like the gang culture behind it and basically the way that it's sectioned off, or like the politics behind a lot of it. So growing up in Oceanside, it was, I lived in a few different parts of Oceanside, but mostly the east side and the Deep Valley. But mostly the east side. I came up in the east side.
What's the east side?
So the east side is the east side of the 5.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So east side of the 5 and north of Mission Avenue. So there's a little pocket right there. So San Diego Street.
Okay.
You could get in through San Diego Street. You get in through Bush Street. You can get in through Loretta through the back, where the 76 is. So any of those, entrances to get into the neighborhood, Archer Street as well. They take you to the neighborhood, which the center of it is Balderrama Park.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then there's the back streets. There's, different sections of the east side. And, there's 7 different neighborhoods in Oceanside. But growing up in Oceanside, it was I kind of caught the tail end of everything because I'm 29. I was born in 95. So it was like when I was coming up, I would say in the 80s and 90s, it was crazier, especially from what I've heard.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? But then early 2000s, it was active. Late 2000s and the 2010s, it was kind of like a lot of people had gotten locked up. There was a lot of indictments that happened. There was a lot of, gang injunctions, stuff like that took away a lot of prominent figures within the streets, and they've come out recently, or a lot of them are still in there, and Oceanside is just, it's treacherous.
Yeah,
It's a crazy place at one point in time.
One of my homies, he was living in Oceanside, you know what I mean? Somebody I kind of knew, and bro, it was like, you got Hell's Angels in Oceanside, bro. You got the Samoans in Oceanside, bro. You got the Mexicans, everything, bro. It's like everything. So Oceanside is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is, and definitely can't leave out HA when it comes to talking about Oceanside. There's a lot of prominent figures. You know what I mean? I won't speak on that, but and the Samoans as well. A lot of them being from DVB or KCB. You know what I mean? Depending what section they grew up in, and there's some Samoans from other sections too. And it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. But the politics can depend on race a lot of the times, which I know in San Diego it can be different.
Right.
And you have like Mexican hoods and black hoods that are cool depending on the hood that it's, if they share the same hood. But up there it ain't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The valley right now especially, you know what I mean? You have 3 hoods and none of them get along.
It was so crazy because when I went up there, we went up to the party, you know what I'm saying, with the homies and stuff like that. And I used to get in the fights a lot, but mostly like Marines and stuff though, man. Yeah,
there was Marines a lot of the time. I feel like the Marines were probably more so at the bars too.
Yeah.
Like downtown. Because we used to have 3 other bars that were really like cracking back then. And it was like, now you have Haunted Head, which has been there as far back as I can remember. Then you had Firewater, Cabo, and Pierview Pub, which was like Bubs. So there's a Bubs in downtown San Diego. We had a Bubs up there in Oceanside.
Okay.
And so it was just like dive bars, but Cabo was like a restaurant, but had a club in the basement and had like a rooftop patio that was like 2-for-1 drinks. And it was like, man, just thinking about it, like that shit was fucked up back then. Cause I was like freshly 21 when a lot of that was like, you know what I mean, really cracking. So I was going out there and man, it was just a lot of shit all the time.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, every time I went to Oceanside the party, I almost got in the fight, bro.
Yeah,
that's why we started going up there.
Man, when I was young, the house parties were crazy. Like, you went to different parties in different neighborhoods, and it's like you knew where you were going. There were some sections that if there was a house party there, like you weren't gonna fucking catch me there. You know what I mean? Like, because I already knew what I was walking into. Or being young, dumb, and drunk off E&J, I was just kind of like, fuck it, like let's roll, like let's see what happens. But then other surrounding cities had it too, like Vista would have them at a time where Vista's still deep, but Vista, like their hood like would be at these parties, you know what I mean? And if they didn't know you or they knew you but they didn't like you, then something was gonna happen. San Marcos the same way, Escondido, or we would just say fuck it, come down to Daygo. Like we, you know what I mean? Like of course you gotta watch where you at, especially when you go to parties in Southeast, wherever you at.
Right.
But we be off like Montezuma, like you know what I'm saying, the college parties.
Absolutely.
You know, like you know what I mean. Like
you bringing back memories, baby.
That's what I'm saying. The Montezuma parties was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. I've been to some at
San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State. Like in the apartments. Like I don't know if they were dorms, but apartments, and it was it was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, especially back in the day, San Diego was popping, bro. It was just everything was fun, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then now they cut down a lot of this shit now, especially hip hop stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of politics going on in San Diego for sure.
Yeah, but the same with Oceanside. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those house parties, like they aren't what they used to be.
Really?
But like, I mean, we would go into these parties like just ready, just whopped up, whatever happened, or even before, like even without that, like if we was there and we was catching phase, like it would get ugly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It would get ugly. It would get very ugly. But I mean, you know, there was a lot of times that we could enjoy the time as well without having to worry about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a lot of controversy going on. Like, do you a lot of people, sometimes people don't consider Oceanside a part of San Diego. Do you consider Oceanside a part of San Diego?
I mean, Oceanside I feel like is its own world.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like it's its own world. It has its own culture, but that doesn't take away from, you know what I mean, that I'm not separating it from San Diego, because at the end of the day it is San Diego County,
right? And
you know what I mean, North County, if you're talking about geographical terms, like it is North County, San Diego, so there's no, you know, denying that. But I just feel like personally when it comes to Oceanside, like you know, I feel like it is its own little world. Like we take pride in it,
right,
a different way, you know what I mean? And you know, because if somebody asks me where I'm from, I'm gonna say Oceanside.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they ask me what city I came from, it's Oceanside. Like, you know what I mean? So, and if they have a question past that, it's like, oh, okay, it's North County, San Diego, and then people understand it a little bit more.
Right.
But that doesn't, you know what I mean? That doesn't take away from San Diego or what San Diego has or what they've done. You know what I mean? But it is kind of a different world, I guess, in a sense too.
Yeah. I remember John Gibbs came here last week. He's like, bro, nobody. We don't care. Oceanside, we're in our own world, man. Like, we're not begging to be a part of San Diego. We do what we think. We do our own thing up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's somebody that definitely can give you that opinion on that too, because you know what I mean. Like, John was reputable before I even, you know what I mean, stepped off the porch. So it was like, you know, and John was one of the reasons early on when I was in high school why I started doing the music thing. You know, I've known John since I was 13.
What?
Yeah, so I've known John for John's 3 years older than me, 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So like listening to him, like his earlier days, like, you know what I mean, and you know, he had a different name at the time, and just his musical genius and the way that he was doing it, like there was really nobody in Oceanside doing it like that.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know, and the way that he did it, like, cause earlier on, me and him were actually we were in chamber choir together.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. He spoke highly of you. I just talked to him last week, so he spoke highly of you.
That's
bro.
that's like my big bro. Like
That's
I said, he you know, that's definitely one of the, you know, not so much like on I would say like that's an immediate influence of mine, that if somebody asked me, like I tell them, like that's like John is one of the reasons why I started doing that. That's straight up, you know.
So what made you get into music though? Like what was the entry to the music game?
I mean, since I was young, I've had a ear for music and love for music that was kind of, you know what I mean, different than anything else. Like I loved sports, I've loved a lot of different things, but music was just different for me, you know, because growing up my mom had a really big spectrum of music that kind of became my own love for music too. So like earlier on, you know, on podcasts people ask me what my musical influences are, and I get so stuck in like certain bubbles of talking about, but it's just so I can't even really specify like how much music my mom really listened to. That's crazy. How many physical albums she had, to where like there were stacks of albums in her room that I would listen to when she would play, you know, and like so studying that music and like listening to like one of the ones that I heard earlier on was a live album of Erykah Badu. Really? And she would play that, and like another one she put me on when I was younger was Craig David. Damn. Like a lot, like just such a wide variety of music that I listened to and picked up on when I was younger, because my mom sang. Right. You know what I mean? And so, you know, that kind of translated, but she listened to a lot of rap too. She listened to everything. That's, you know, I've talked about it on other podcasts where it's like she listened to a lot of 80s rock, and that was one that I kind of said that I listened to a lot because of her. But really, it was just so much different music that she listened to, and I just got stuck on.
Yeah.
You know, so as far as the musical influence and the love for music, that's how it started. But then later on, I didn't really get into writing until earlier in high school. And then I would write, and then I would do like poetry too, and I would just kind of try and express myself through different things. And I kept it to myself a lot of the times. I didn't show anybody. I didn't record nothing, and kept it to myself, and I would just practice. You know, because like with anything else, and I applied the same work ethic that I learned through sports into that. So it was just consistency, just trying and listening to different things. And earlier on in high school, this is when who did I listen to a lot?
Yeah,
I
need to hear this because
well, really, I would say the first. So I first got stuck on like a lot of TDE stuff because when I was in 8th grade, that was when J-Rock and Lil Wayne's All My Life came out.
Oh shit, okay.
So that was an earlier thing. So then that led me to finding out about Kendrick. The first Kendrick song that I heard was Rigor Mortis. Earlier on The Weekend, when he had first come out, that was one that I was stuck on a lot. Earlier on, Drake's early work, Comeback Season, that was a real one that I was like stuck on. All of J. Cole's earlier work, all of Big Crit's work, everything Big Crit has dropped, but Big Crit's earlier work, so like was what I was really stuck on. So like Forever and a Day, a lot of those earlier albums I was just stuck on. Mac Miller, Nipsey, like all of Nipsey's earlier stuff. So the first Nipsey song that I heard was The Hustle Way, and I was stuck. Like everything he put out, I was just on it. Like it was just a consistent thing. So like, you know, when he dropped Mailbox Money, when he dropped Crenshaw, I was listening to all of these consistently. Yeah. And so it's funny because I look at a lot of the older XXL freshmen like covers, and those were a lot of people that I listened to. I didn't start listening to Freddie Gibbs until a little later, but like a lot of these just the influence that they had on me. Like I said, Mac Miller, all of Mac Miller's work I listened to, like all of so that's one thing that I kind of like am upset about all the time. I'm like, damn, like I wish I could have just at least had a conversation with Nip and Mac.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
You know, not even like, of course, work with them, but just on a more so just to pick their brain and see what, you know, how things work for them. You know what I mean? And know them as a person. Like I like, that's how big of a fan I am of all of their work.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah. So like, but Kendrick, of course, like Kendrick had such a big influence on my work, and I feel like I don't say that enough because I kind of, my mind just goes everywhere as far as my musical influences. But like, yeah, there was a time that I was just stuck on a lot of Kendrick songs, like listening to She Needs Me, like every day, all of the Section 80 stuff, even a lot of like Today, like the song Today, like a lot of his earlier work that was like unreleased or kind of just on like lesser known projects.
Right.
Like that, I was stuck on all those songs.
Are you like one of those people that, you know, they can listen to one song all day?
Yeah, straight up. I mean, now it can kind of get overplayed to me sometimes, and like that was how I was when $1 Million Baby came out by Tommy Richmond. I heard it and I was kind of stuck on it. Right. And you know, like it was when I was coming back from Stagecoach, so I was kind of on a music high. So like I went to Stagecoach and kind of like fell in love with country a little bit differently because I hated country.
Bishop Snow listened to country. Holy shit!
I went and I heard Willie Nelson's set. I listened to Jelly Roll a lot more after that.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, and so like, and I heard Beyonce was gonna be there, so I was like stuck on Cowboy Carter, that album, her country album. Yeah, it was an amazing album. I feel like it doesn't get a lot of love, but I try and listen to so many different types of music, which right now I'm like in a trap binge. Like I've never listened to trap. Like we were talking about that. Me and her were talking about that. Like I really didn't listen to trap before this year, but now I'm like digging into all of like Future's like work. You know what I mean? Like all the Future's work, Boss Man D-Lo right now. Like I'm stuck on like listening to Moneybagg Yo, like all that. But I mean, yeah, I try and take I have so many different influences and just so many different things. And so like, I listen to like Larry June every day. That's like my biggest, like crazy. That's like my biggest, like that's like mentally where I'm at, I guess you could say, like within life and within a lot of things. It's just like more of a positive note and just more like productive and getting into my shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And staying on it. Yeah. You know, that's really what I listen to.
That's crazy, bro. Even like doing my like studying you, I would never thought you would say any of this, bro.
Yeah, it's stuff that I kind of like. I don't know. I wanted to make sure that I came here and I was like, okay, let me be more open about it and not as like, you know,
that's hella dope.
Stuck on one thing. But yeah, that's I listen to a lot of different stuff.
You know, listen to the music now today compared to a lot of the stuff that artists that you named already. How do you feel about the music now? Because I was listening to like an Outkast song the other day and I was like, damn, that's music I can feel, bro. This, you know, it's like stuck on me. Like I can feel the music, and I feel like to this day, these new artists, you can't really. You know, I can't relate to them, I guess. I don't know. There's some, but it's I feel like sometimes it's just more individual songs that I relate to. Yeah.
Like I guess I'm not gonna compare the two, but there are some Future songs that I can feel like within my heart and I'm just like, damn, this is real. But then at the same time, like with Outkast and like Goody Mob, like I'm not even gonna say a percent of the album. All of like ATLiens and all of Equipment, like I could like listen to and feel, and it's like, damn, like I feel this on a personal note. Like I said, with all the Goody Mob stuff, the Soul Food album, like that's, you know what I mean? Like all of that, like that's stuff that I can feel within my heart. But I just feel like some of the stuff that I hear nowadays hits me a different way. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't hit me, or that it doesn't resonate with me, or that I don't feel it in my soul, but it just hits differently. You know what I mean? And depending on the point of view, depending on a lot of different things, there's a lot of different characteristics or points that I could point out within today's music, but I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not going to completely cut it out and say that it doesn't hit me, but because, you know, it's just different. It resonates different.
Maybe because I'm older now, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm 43 now, so I guess I shouldn't connect to a lot of the younger shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, time passes, and of course sometimes people have different perspectives, and I feel like today's world is kind of so different, and people have adjusted to living in today's world that kind of is just fucked up, you know what I mean? Right. So it's like, in order to adjust to something that's fucked up, you need to be fucked up. So
true,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
So it's kind of it's harder to resonate with certain things, I feel like.
Listen to your music, bro. For some reason, I thought you're going to say like Dog Pound, Gangsta, you know, DPG or something, you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
like I mean, or something like that.
I listen to all that. I listen to all that too. I mean, like I said, I listen to so many different types of music, but like earlier on, that was what I listened to as well. Like DPG, the Doggy Style album, the Chronic 2001, all the Outkast stuff, all the earlier Outkast stuff, that was all playing in my house. Like literally everything was playing in my house. And so like, even if you talk to me about like a lot of the, like honestly, West Coast rap had a big influence on me as a kid, but East Coast hip hop was really where I was like digging and pulling apart Rakim's verses.
Wow, Bishop Snow's talking. Man, this is crazy. This is dope, bro.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Tribe Called Quest, of course Biggie, AZ.
It's crazy, bro.
Shit, Nas, Illmatic. I've said this time and time again. Illmatic is the greatest rap album of all time to me.
Wow.
You know, and so, that's just to me, because I feel like that's a flawless album. I feel like every chorus, the production, every verse, everything on there is just the way that it's supposed to be done. I feel like it's a perfect piece of, like, you know what I mean, personally. But like I said, Reasonable Doubt, the Blueprint did sit with me like that, but I feel like a lot more individual Jay-Z songs kind of resonated with me. You know what I mean? And so like, shit, I can go days, Redman, Method Man, you know what I mean? Like all of the Wu-Tang as a whole, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the verses that I love listening to if I feel kind of like uninspired is Inspectah Deck's verse that was supposed to be on I Got My Mind Made Up.
That's crazy, bro.
You know what I mean? I'll pull that verse up individually just to listen to it. It got cut out, but that was a great fucking verse. You know what I mean?
Bro, you a hip hop connoisseur.
I study what I love, you know what I mean? And I make sure that I'm in an understanding mode when it comes to hip hop, because it's ever changing. Music is ever changing, but if I want to be great at this, then I need to understand what it came from and what it takes to be great at it, you know. And you know, of course, like you know, Pac is a really big influence of mine. I feel like I skipped over that, but Pac, like, you know, I feel like at times it sounds cliche, but like that's one of my biggest influences, you know. And so, you know, just so many different artists that have just kind of resonated with me throughout my life.
Bro, you're so West Coast, so like this is kind of blowing my mind, you know what I mean? Like your style, everything is like so West Coast, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope to hear, you know what I mean? So what about any like San Diego artists? Did you bump any like, you know, local San Diego artists?
Mitchie Slick for sure. All that, like Mitchie Slick. Let's see who else. Bullet Loco, of course.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? The Locust on his own. Like that's, you know what I mean? Lovely. I love that song. Like there's just so much great work that's come out of San Diego that doesn't get a lot of love or enough love. You know what I mean? Which is one thing that really hypes me up about. I love listening to what is it? Full Time? Nipsey and Mitchie. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I love that song because it's just they come from two different worlds, but I feel like it's just you know, it's just such a, you know, it just fits. You know what I mean? But Mitchie, you know, Mitchie's storytelling on a lot of different things on 2 Triv, Triggeration Station, Regular Niggin', you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of Daygo work that's, I feel like doesn't get, and even nowadays, like, but I'm trying to think of more Daygo artists.
That's dope though, bro.
What's Stay G About It by Lil Spank Booty? That's a great song that doesn't get a lot of love. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? And shit, I'm not even a Diamond or Blood, but like they used to the Simones used to play that shit in weight training. You know what I mean? They used to play all the Cherry Chuck Gang shit.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Or the Lincolns. You know what I mean? So it was. I heard that a lot as a kid.
That's crazy, bro.
The Chicano side of rap as well. There's just so much work that's come out of Daygo that doesn't get enough love. But even nowadays, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great artists out of Daygo.
Why do you think that? Because San Diego's like, we got some artists, man. We got some dope artists coming out of San Diego, but I feel like we just don't get that extra little push or the edge to go mainstream. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. I don't. I've thought about that time and time again. I don't know if it's the marketing. I don't know if it's. I don't know what it is, but there's just so much about Daygo that gets cut out and it's not right. You know what I mean? Right. But it's one of those things that gets my wheels turning as far as like, or my, you know what I mean? It gets my thoughts going as far as like, how could it be done? Right. You know, but I feel like it's already happened a lot though. I feel like Lil Weirdo's really definitely put it out there. You know what I'm saying? As a whole. I feel like TC3 and TC4 have put out a lot of good work, and I feel like it only takes one, and I feel like with anybody from Daygo, like once it really gets pushed out, then because I'm trying to think of who else that really has put out a lot of good work recently too that doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, like 22 G Faye, Lil Maru, Memo Mafioso, like those are all great artists as well. Absolutely. You know, just like I said, there's so many artists that come out of Daygo it needs to be pushed out and have more love than it does, but I don't know what it is.
I heard that. So you in particular, man, like you're like you're doing numbers, bro. You're really established social media presence.
Thank you.
Your music is doing numbers. So what did you do to like, become, so mainstream and popular? Like what was your secret what was the sauce to your secret? What was your secret sauce?
I just didn't give a fuck what people thought.
Interesting.
And I just promoted myself. You know what I mean? And so from earlier on, what is it? It's 2024. I've been rapping since officially like releasing music since January 2022. So within that time,
22?
Yeah. So within that time, I started working with an independent label out of Oceanside called Mad Strange. And so they're a clothing brand that makes a lot of Oceanside clothes, but they also have a music label side of things. So they started off with another artist working with his career named Desi Hollow. And then
shout out to Desi.
Yeah, and so they and then I came on in 2022. And so from the get-go, they just gave me everything that I needed and pushed me out there as much as they possibly could, but made sure that I understood that I needed to put in the work myself and promote myself. And so over time I understood that because I was naive to how that worked in the beginning, and I was just very much like, okay, I'm gonna put music out and then it's gonna blow up and then it's gonna be out there forever. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that.
Grind.
And so utilizing social media, utilizing Instagram, utilizing TikTok, YouTube Shorts, posting every day, not giving a fuck what people say, because I still don't give a fuck what people say, because people be in the comments talking shit about whatever, but ain't nobody said shit to me in person, or you know what I mean, they gonna get fucking rocked. But you know what I mean, and so, you know, understanding that people are gonna hate you for whatever you do,
right?
As long as you're grinding and you're putting in the work, they're not gonna pay my bills. Like, I don't give a fuck like what people are talking about. But even besides that, like, me trying to be great is strictly on me, and there's a lot of people that are gonna hate along the way, and I'm not gonna let that get to me, because mentally I just need to be stronger than that.
Facts.
So understanding that and utilizing Instagram and TikTok and all these things, and understanding that shorts work and that it really pushes international. Like, I feel like I don't talk about the international push about like my music a lot, and how, like, you know, like, I send orders of 20 of my physical CDs to Japan a lot. You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't talk about that kind of shit, because I don't like talk. Like, I feel like that's just kind of like behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And so, like, it works. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, all glory to God. Like, without God, it wouldn't be possible. And it's all possible. And God has given me that platform and blessed me enough to make sure that I'm in a position that I want to be in order to be great and try to be great. You know what I mean? Which is the goal overall. And so that's what I'm trying to do. But, you know, the push that I've been able to do with my music within this time frame that I've been able to do and blessed to do it is strictly through the promotion. Like, I post these reels every day,
right,
and the numbers work, and it goes from September 2022, I had 400 monthly listeners on Spotify, and then as of August last year, 2023, I hit 100,000, which of course it fluctuates. Like, right now I'm probably under 100, like, it happens. And so I'm still working. I'm still trying to get better with music. I'm having better understanding of music and what it takes to make better music. And so once that happens, then of course I can push that out to the world when it's ready. And until then, I practice, I study, I listen to different things, and I make sure that my work is worth putting out to the world and things, and it resonates with people, not to just put it out just so that way I could get streams and all this shit, but making sure that what I'm putting out is it has it's quality. You know what I mean? Quality over quantity, of course, but still doing it at a consistent rate. And so, you know, like I said before, you know, being able to do that within that time frame, and of course understanding a little bit more the business side of what it takes to consistently drop music and to consistently be in the studio and really just study and make music. You know what I mean? Right. To be able to do that within this time frame is you know, it's cool. And to just stay at it and just keep running.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's phenomenal, bro. And that's in a short amount of time. That growth is crazy. But bro, you skipped over you got Japanese fans. You skipped over that.
Yeah, shit.
We need to rewind and go back to that. You got Japanese fans. That's sick, bro.
Fans from Japan. I've done 3 shoots with photographers from Germany who have flown out here to shoot with me.
That's crazy.
I've done a few other things too with internationally that really, like,
that's crazy, bro.
You know, people really like reach out to me from other countries, and you know, that are overseas and have seen my music through TikTok. Right, you know what I mean? I was shooting a music video in Vegas last month. And then while we were shooting the last scene in front of one of the liquor stores out there, I had some fans from France that recognized me.
You was on a fucking big ass horse?
You know, nah, that was another one. That was Party in the Hood. That was Party in the Hood was crazy. But we did another one called Stack It Up, which was the last song on the album that I just dropped, Mission Ave 2. And you know, I had some French fans there. And then I ran into some French fans at Rolling Loud. I ran into some French fans at an event that I just went to in Vegas separately, which, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's all a blessing. You know what I mean? And it's cool to be able to do that. You know, and see that it's reaching out to people all over the world. You know, so, you know, it's really just a push for it and to make sure that I'm heard, you know. And so, you know, I've just really just been able to do that within this time, and I'm grateful for it.
That's crazy. Brother from Oceanside, now international. How do you feel about that, bro? That's crazy.
It's cool. It's definitely, I love it, you know, and I feel like a lot of other people from around here too get international love too, and they just, you know what I mean, like they know it, or they, you know what I mean, or they haven't been able to hear it yet. And I feel like the music really does get spread out like that, and it's amazing to hear and it's amazing to see, you know. But in my case, you know, I'm grateful for it and I love it, but you know, I just really want people to see like it's possible, like you can get that. And I feel like a lot of people do get that love, but like I said, whether if they see it or not, you know what I mean, I don't know. But it's an awesome thing to go through.
It's kind of crazy because, you know, I've seen this Instagram channel, and I guess these Japanese fans, they're like imitating the whole Chicano culture, bro. Yeah, the tattoos.
Oh, they have it out there too. The lowrider culture is big in Japan.
Crazy. Dookie chains.
Yeah, afros. Vietnam too. There's a tattoo artist out in Vietnam that I follow on Instagram that like the same almost the same idea. So like the dressing the same, like the Dickies, the Pro Clubs, like everything, you know. And they be wearing like high socks and like Reeboks, you know, and you know, they listen to our music, they bump our music, and then you know, they post it. And it's like it's cool to see the influence that the West Coast has on the rest of the world, and I feel like a lot of people don't see that, you know. And it's just you know, hip hop as a whole, you know what I mean, whether it's the West Coast, whether it's the South, the East, like there's just a big influence across the world, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, it's so crazy because even, you know, you being, you know, black and Mexican, bro, you know what I mean, my kids, it's funny, like my wife is black, my wife is Mexican, my kids is black and Mexican, so I look at you like, this is what my son will look like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a question, though, you coming up being black and Mexican, what are some challenges that you face being, you know, biracial?
I mean, there was a lot, but it comes from all different sides, like whether within my family there was, you know, I guess I was oblivious to it when I was a kid, but within my family there was some times hostility, I guess, within, you know what I mean, because of the race thing, or because, you know, my grandparents came here from Mexico.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so straight to LA, and then my dad was born in LA, and then my dad's from Almonte, which is San Gabriel Valley in LA. And so, you know, which is predominantly Mexican city. Like a lot of San Gabriel Valley is, you know, predominantly Mexican. Right. But being down here, I guess, you know, how do I explain it? You do go through a lot being both. I guess growing up, it didn't really hit me until I got older, because not a lot of people really knew. I just look like a black man. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, you know, when you do get around other Mexicans as you get older, and then, you know, you kind of interact with them and they figure out that you are Mexican, or they find out that you are Mexican, you know, it's kind of harder for them to believe at first, but I guess it's more so welcoming, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was completely negative, because it really wasn't, I guess, you know. At times it could have been, you know, when it came to being in the streets and of course the politics. I would say that the politics is probably where it got more divided. Right. But I feel like culturally, you know, both sides are very welcoming, you know. And I love being Mexican. Like that's a big thing. Like I love being Mexican, but I love being black too. Like I love both sides, because both sides culturally is just, you know, it's amazing to be both.
Bro, it's a beautiful culture, you know, being around my wife, you know what I mean? She's from like Chihuahua, Mexico, you know what I mean? So she's like really traditional. Yeah. It's a beautiful culture, man.
Yeah. My grandparents are from Michoacan, you know what I mean? And so like it's, you know, culturally, you know, for a long time, because I wasn't around my dad for a long time. So, you know, with that, I wasn't around my dad's side for a long time too, you know what I mean? So my Mexican side, like, but when I was younger, and then as I got older, more recently, before both my grandparents passed, I was able to like talk to them and really like understand where we came from. Right. But then of course being around a lot of different Mexican families too, like you just see the culture and you understand it, because I mean they all come from the same place as far as generally Mexico, you know. So, you know, culturally it's a beautiful thing. But, you know, personally with my family, I wish there was more that I knew. You know, I do know things here and there, and I'm not fluent in Spanish either. Like I understand it and I can speak it and I can hold a conversation, but you know, it's you know, it's just a beautiful thing being both. Beautiful. And then my mom's side, you know, they came from the South, and then, you know, my grandpa is from Mobile, Alabama, and then they came from a long line of, you know what I mean? And so like not knowing that history as much, but like still having an understanding of it. My grandma's from Chattanooga, you know what I mean? And so you know, it's a beautiful thing knowing both.
You know what's cool? Because I'm from Georgia. I'm from Albany, Georgia. So when similar locations, and our culture is very similar to my wife's culture. You know what I mean? Like the Mexican culture. You know what I mean? It's very, very similar. But food is different. Yeah. But like the culture and the structure, the family structure is very similar.
Yeah.
So like, man, when I met my wife, it was like a perfect match, bro. It was like, she was Mexican, but damn near the same culture.
Yeah. And awesome. Some, you know, I guess unfortunately there's still people in the world that kind of look at it from a negative standpoint, as far as, you know what I mean? So, you know, both ways. Like the hate goes both ways sometimes. I'm not going to say it's one way. But there's also a lot of love between the two now. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a lot of love, and more than love, I would say there's understanding. Gotcha. Understanding is probably the word that I would use.
We got the same struggles, bro.
Exactly. And that's where the understanding comes in, I feel like.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So growing up, did you listen to a lot of Mexican music at all?
Not as much, actually. No, I didn't get into any like corridos or anything like that. Yeah. Chicano rap, yeah. Chicano rap more so than anything else, but like my dad didn't really listen to as much. Like my dad didn't really listen to like corridos or anything like that growing up, so I wasn't really around it. Like my grandma and my grandpa did, you know, because of what they listened to, because they really only spoke. Their English was very broken, I guess so to say. Like they were, you know, put out like they're fluent in, you know, in Spanish. So, whatever they listened to, I would listen to, and I was around my grandparents a lot when I was younger. But as I got older, I wasn't around it as much.
I mean, bro, that Mexican music, like that banda, that shit is gangster, bro.
Yeah, it really is.
I used to work at a local Mexican, way back in the day, like Cabo Seville was like a lot of Mexican crowd. Yeah, bro, them motherfuckers is gangster, bro.
Yeah,
that cartel music, man. I don't play around.
Yeah, corridos. Yeah, I mean, bachata, like all of it, like it's all beautiful, and even like the reggaeton, you know what I mean? Which of course, like reggaeton it could be more so predominantly like Puerto Rican or like Dominican or, you know what I mean, whatever it is. You know, it's all beautiful to me, you know what I mean? And so but some I did listen to more than others, but like I said, Chicano rap was more what I listened to growing up.
Bro, I was listening to No Jumper. Yeah, I was listening to your No Jumper interview, and you're a GD.
Yeah, I am.
That's crazy.
Yeah, folks.
GD. I remember I got a funny story because I got jumped into a GD game when I was a little kid, and I was like, man, I thought for sure I was Gangsta Disciple. Yeah. But I was kind of surprised because there ain't too many GDs on the West Coast, bro. You know what I mean? It's like more of like a South and East Coast thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what was the story? How'd you get into the GD? Being a GD?
Family that's folks. So my uncle Soda Pop is actually from Chicago.
What?
You know, mom's side. But yeah, my Uncle Pop actually brought us out here in '94. So the year before I was born. And then because of, I wouldn't say that there's a lot of GDs from here. There are a lot of GDs here though. There's a lot of folks here. Right. You know what I mean? And so that's predominantly because of the military. So because a lot of different families come from a lot of different areas within the United States, you know what I mean? It brings a lot of different cultures. So I mean that's with anything. That's with Vice Lords, that's with Latin Kings, that's with you know what I mean, with folks, peoples, whatever it is. And even a lot of different you know, things from different regions within the United States. So how do I explain it? So yeah, there is a lot of folks on the West Coast.
Right.
You know, whether it's in California, Washington, you know what I mean? There's some in Oregon. But there's a lot of folks everywhere within the United States.
Yeah, everywhere. There's some GDs for sure.
Yeah, and it doesn't, just because we're so far from Chicago doesn't mean that we're not, how do I say it? Doesn't mean that we're renegades, I guess, in a sense. It doesn't mean that we don't fall under the same chain of command or structure, or that we fall away from the laws and policies or the literature as a whole. You know, we're still folks. Yeah. Everything that came from, you know, the man that we have called chief in the past, you know what I'm saying? Everything that he's written or spoken into existence, we still stand on that. We still stand on our six the same. Yeah. No matter where I'm at, exactly how I said on No Jumper, I'm not from GD, I'm a GD, you know what I mean? And I guess I kind of stray away from using the term Gangsta Disciple in a sense because, you know, that is 360, and I'm more so in my life growth and development.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So understanding the 720 and what that means. But like I said, no matter where I'm at, I'm still one of the guys. I'm still gonna stand on my 6, whether I'm in here, whether I'm here, whether I'm in Japan, whether I'm, you know, wherever I am. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm still one of the guys. And understanding what it means to know the strength of the mind, body, and soul, or, you know, just to kind of keep it, you know, vague, I guess. You know what I mean? So it's you know, there are folks everywhere, and you know, there's a lot of people that have their opinions, but ain't nobody said shit. You know what I'm saying? So
do you have problems with other sets and stuff like that? Like, cause you know,
growing up, it was there was a lot of shit that happened, but it was personal beefs that turned into bigger things, and so because of that, we would, you know what I'm saying, like I'm gonna step with the guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ride with the guys no matter what it is. So there were a lot of issues where when I was younger, they're resolved now, I guess, so to say, because I know somebody from everywhere, you know what I mean, and there isn't really too much shit that happens that's like something that I have to like step on when it comes to business, you know what I mean? There's nothing really like that anymore. You know, those problems either died out or they got resolved over time or whatever the case, or we all just got older because the people that we really didn't get along with, we're all older now, you know what I mean? And so, you know, but there were a lot of incidents that happened, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah, a lot.
Hey, I ain't fucking with Bishop Snow. Fuck that. You know,
man, I mean, I'm older now, and it's a lot of time and money to, you know, invest in that kind of stuff, and it's just shit that I just can't afford to lose right now. You know what I mean? And it's just, I mean, I'd rather be present for my son, get my money, and stay in my lane. But if somebody tries to deter me of that, then of any of those 3 things, then it's you know, that's when, you know, I'll have to do what I do. But, you know, as of right now, like, it's nothing that I don't feel like I need to prove anything to anybody. Like, I've done all that. Like, I've you know, it's been a long time. Like, I'm older now. I'm 29. I just turned 29. Like, I feel like I'm too old for that shit.
I feel you, bro. The older you get, bro, you know, you go through all those fights and those problems, man, that shit gets old after a while, man. You just want some peace and quiet, bro. Yeah,
and the older I get, you know what I'm saying, I just seek to just gain clarity and really just put all my effort into things that are gonna you know, help me grow as a person.
Let's go. Hey, you a deep brother. We got a deep brother over here.
Yeah, man, that's just how I'm able to just stay sane, I guess. You know what I mean? Which, going back to being in the gym all the time, like, that's really why I do it. It's for my, you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'm gonna be able to go in there and physically be able to lift, but you know, like, where's my mental stability at?
Interesting.
Like, that's really what I do it for. Is, you know, I feel like once my mental is right, the physical falls into place. It's easier for me to take care of my emotions, and as long as I keep my spiritual relationship with God, and all of it just kind of, you know, is where it needs to be.
Bro, you know, I was talking to one of my homies about that, you know, and the older you get, you learn how to process your emotions, especially as, you know, brother, black people, Mexicans, you know what I mean, you know, black and brown. Yeah. Sometimes we act on our emotions and we fight and we beat each other and we kill because we don't know how to process our emotions. Yeah. The older we get, we learn how to find different outlets and stuff like that. With that being said, you know, listen to your music. You go through a lot of shit. You've been through a lot of shit. Do you believe in, like, you know, therapy and shit like that?
I've tried to more so now. Like, I've definitely have looked into it. I did a semester at Miracosta College, which is in you know, up there in Oceanside.
Right.
And then I actually took drama because I was actually looking into getting into acting, which, I mean, I still want to, but
that'll be dope, bro.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah. Get into that lane, but they do offer services for therapy there, and so I was looking at it. You know what I mean? I guess one thing that I do try to work on consistently is my pride and my ego, you know what I mean? And making sure that I suppress those, you know, when necessary, and, you know, of course, as much as I can. And I feel like therapy definitely would help, you know what I mean? To each their own, of course, too. You know what I mean? If that helps somebody, then by all means do it. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna look at you less of a less of a person. You know what I mean? Like, do what you have to do as a person in order for you to get through the day.
Let's go.
Everyone's situation is different. So if you have to go to therapy, you got to figure it out. Do it. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know. I get busy, and then I start to overlook things like that, and then I try and, you know, throw my emotions into the music and use that as a therapeutic outlet, I guess, so to say, and the gym and all that too. But I mean, if you could talk to somebody and they help you get through the day and that helps you, then by all means do it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
so I could tell you use your music in that gym for therapeutic and
definitely.
Yeah,
every day.
Absolutely,
every day. You know.
Do you consider yourself as a Chicano rapper?
No, I don't put myself in any kind of like I guess label like that, so to say. You know, although I am half Mexican, I don't really look at it like that.
Gotcha.
You know, I just I guess the best way that I could say that is I kind of just look at myself like an artist.
Facts.
You know, because I try and be versatile when it comes to certain things. And even right now what I'm working on is I'm trying to do less G-Funk and gangster rap and more of a sound that's fits into my lifestyle right now. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I've discussed a lot of things within my music about my past, but now it's time to discuss my future and how to move forward. Right. And so, like, I guess the best way that I could explain the route that I'm trying to take right now is like Larry June and Nipsey. You know, it's discussing what's happened in the past, but it's how to also become a better person. You know what I mean? Based off of, you know, the plans that you have or just living a better lifestyle. Yeah. You know, like I said, I could sit here and talk about negative shit all day in my music, but it's just like, where is that going to get me? What mental space is that going to, subconsciously, that's just going to keep me in that lane. You know what I mean? And so, going back to your question, you know, I don't really feel like I fit in that area of like a Chicano rapper. You know what I mean? And so, or a Chicano artist. You know, politics aside too, you know what I mean? And so like, I don't know. I try and not stick in any specific lane. Right. You know, and that's why I'm trying to branch out with a lot of that right now. You know, and trying to develop different flows and different sounds and just be a more well-rounded artist, I guess, so to say. Okay.
One of my favorite songs that, you know, listen to you, one of my favorite songs is Big Egos. You know what I mean? I love that. That song is dope, and it seems like you was going through some shit, and it was like very personal song. You know what I'm saying? And one of the lines said, "Your one day you said your ego's going to kill you. Your pride, your pride might kill you one day." Yeah. What do you mean by that?
I feel like people have egos and pride, like an ego and a lot of pride, and I feel like a lot of people aren't able to let that go. And I feel like basically, so the whole structure of that song, I was experiencing a lot of hate from a lot of different areas that I guess I didn't really understand, and kind of like my approach to that song was just more so, you know, suppress your ego and suppress your pride, and you know, pride is one thing that gets you killed. And I say that consistently. So within that bar, you know, basically what I'm saying is that, you know, let your pride go, because your pride is just, you know, pride is a killer of man, personally. 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm trying to think of how to explain it a little better without the whole song, like through the whole song. Like I said, it's I feel like a lot of people just get so caught up in their head and they get so big-headed with a lot of different things, and they're not able to let that go. And if you're not thinking with your mind and you think with your pride, then you know.
Like, listen to the song, like you're saying, a lot of people hate you and shit. You get a lot of hate. So what type of hate do you usually get? Because I ain't nobody fucking with Big Snow. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the hate that I do hear that I get is from different outlets, or it's people say certain things to other people and then I end up hearing about it. Or it's kind of like subtle jabs that people like, you know what I mean? Nobody says anything directly to me. And even at that time, it was like, how do I explain it? I get a lot of hate from people that you wouldn't even expect. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
A lot of people that, there's a lot of people that are in, there's a lot of people when I started doing this shit that were in positions that were far what I was at the time, and they couldn't stand the sight of me doing it. And so it was a lot of backdoor shit. You know what I mean? A lot of things that were said behind my back, or, you know what I mean? And so I just use that as a motivation to just go farther than them and just kind of just be like, if you're not going to say it to me, then I'm just going to outwork you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And try and outshine what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And so, but within staying in my own lane and not worrying about them, like, you know how many times a day I have to tell myself, like, just let these niggas be, like, just trying to tell myself to stay in my own lane and just not worry about these motherfuckers. Like, it happens every day. And so, like I said, the hate that I do get is very, like, it's shit that they wouldn't even, that nobody said to me.
Right.
Like, as much hate as people talk about, like, me promoting myself or the fact that I'm folks out here, like I said, nobody said anything to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like,
hey, they won't.
Man, I just
they won't.
And hopefully, if they do, I handle it the best way possible. And yeah, you know what I mean? And that goes back to the pride. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Cause in Big Ego is what I talk about. Cause the bar is, my pride might get me killed one day, no matter what these niggas gonna say.
Yep.
And
dope song.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And so, my pride is a big thing. Right. Like, it's very, like, I'm a very, very prideful person, and I can admit that. Mm. And a lot of my faults that I try and work on daily. And I can be such a proud person and not think with, you know what I mean? I think with my head instead of my heart at times. And there was a lot of crazy influences that I had at that time too, as far as like alcohol and being drowning in alcohol and a lot of different bad vices that I had. And I just become a very stubborn and prideful person at times. And I don't want to listen to people when I think I know what's best for me, instead of understanding and listening to other people's opinions and that do have my best intentions at heart. You know what I mean?
I heard that.
And so, yeah, like I said, it's just, there's a lot of shit that just happens behind the scenes that I just kind of just keep it pushing and just tell myself that, it's not worth it to deal with it how I want to deal with it. Because a lot of the times how I want to deal with it will give me a fucking life sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, dope song though. I love the song. I can, when you wrote that, I could feel. It's one of those songs, like I tell you, like artists, I can feel their music.
Yeah.
And I felt that one.
I wrote that and I walked to church after, like, straight up. I swear to God, I'm so serious. I walked straight to church after and I listened to it. You know what I mean? And so, a lot of that stuff was definitely a song that, like, I just definitely wanted to speak out and just be heard, you know what I mean? And it worked. And, a lot of the songs from that project were more personal, you know what I mean, and what I was going through at the time, and trying to get myself out there and dealing with a lot of bullshit and, hearing, just dealing with hate from people that I never thought I would.
I feel you.
Dope
song, bro. Dope song. I felt that motherfucker. You know the bars. I was like, okay.
Thank you.
Snow, he got off on that one for sure.
Yeah, because the chorus. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. When I started, you know what I'm saying. I knew these niggas hate me because of where my heart is. You know what I mean. Like, that's literally what it talks about. You know what I mean. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Like I said, I just try and pour my emotions into my music.
Are you one of those artists that actually write, or do you just freestyle off the top of your head?
I write everything.
That's when I could feel you wrote that one.
Yeah.
Like, that was like.
Yeah, I don't have a track that I freestyle on. I've honestly, like, you know what I mean, like a.
Damn.
1,444. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I write everything, and this dates back to shit. If you go like.
Damn.
Hold on, I want to say I have Big Egos in here.
Bro, that's crazy.
If not, it's on my my computer.
Damn, he has like this a Rolodex full of just.
Yeah, I tried to put it so that way you could see it on the camera, but I mean, it just, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, I tried to find Big Egos on here, but I have like stuff from like old projects. Like, this is from February 2022, and this is from the first G-Funk like project that I put together, and it just I have so much stuff. Like
That's dope, bro.
I write everything, and everything's on this iCloud, so it's like all the stuff that I've written from all my projects is all on my phone.
Please back that up, bro.
Yeah, I have it. I have most of it on my computer too, because I'll type it out on the computer and then I'll airdrop it to myself. So most of the stuff I do have is, but I know I wrote Big Egos on the computer because I was at the shop, but it wasn't a studio yet. I didn't have a studio yet. It was just my computer and a stand with a mic. Like that was all I had.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah. So.
Hey, with you being black and Mexican, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about when Chicano rappers say the N-word in their raps, bro?
I don't really look too much into it, honestly.
Me either.
I hear it a lot now in like outside of rap from a lot of like from Mexicans. You know, I feel like times have changed, and you know what I mean. A lot of Mexicans nowadays do say it, even though growing up, like,
right.
You know, I grew up around a lot of heavy like Southsiders that were like strictly just like they didn't say it. You know what I mean? They had their lingo that they use, and that was that.
Yeah.
You know, but nowadays, like, it's more common to hear it from the younger Mexican generation, I guess, so to say. Even though there are a lot of younger Mexicans that don't say it. You know what I mean? But I feel like the culture's kind of shifted in that sense to where like a lot of like even in like LA, you know what I mean? LA, and I don't think Orange County, but I hear it a lot in LA. You know what I mean? And so whatever changed within that time, you know what I mean? But to each their own, if that's how they feel. And like I said, as long as it's not like disrespectful or like, you know what I mean? They're not using it in like a derogatory term, or they're not trying to be like disrespectful. That's just part of their lingo.
Yep.
Like the way that a lot of the younger Mexican generation dress now too is like heavily influenced, you know, by certain cultures. And I'm not saying just by blacks, but just from a little bit of everywhere. Right. You know what I mean? And so, you know, as long as it's not being used disrespectfully, then you know what I mean? As they say, no pasa nada. You know what I mean? No, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. But I was like, man, maybe I'm biased because my wife is Mexican. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it don't bother me. I feel like the word doesn't mean what it really means down to this day. They don't look at it like that. They look at it as like homie, or because me and Hoodie from Hood, we was talking about that. We was like, they don't think it means the way we think it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't really take. I mean, growing up, like my dad never said it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. My dad's side never said it. Like I came from a very like old school family in that sense. You know what I mean? And so like for them, like they never said any of it. My dad's old school, like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna label it, but like my dad comes from a certain area, and he acts a certain way, and he presents himself a certain way based off of the way that he grew up. And so, you know, like I said, my dad never said it. I never heard him say it. So, but like I said, to each his own. Times change, and if that's what they do, then that's what they do.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, my brother deep over here, bro. Yeah, I like that.
You know.
Hey, so you've been in the game. You got a lot of experience. Give me some gems that you can throw on some of these up and coming, you know, rappers who wants to be the next Bishop Snow, bro.
Oh man, I mean, even with myself, like I have a lot of work to do. Just you know.
What are some things that you experienced though? You can kind of like, you know, shed on, like as far as music, you know, in the music industry, that you can kind of give some games.
Just in general, just dedication, determination, and discipline is going to get you where you need to be. Consistency is key. Don't be afraid to promote yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. You know, if you don't promote yourself, nobody else is going to do it, and that's for sure.
Facts.
Believe in yourself when no one else will. Keep grinding. Definitely keep your foot on the gas pedal, and don't let other people's opinions detour you from what you believe in doing. If you really feel like that's what in your heart is right, and that's what you want to do, and you know what I mean, that's what you feel is right, then do it. You know, you have to be able to create and believe in yourself. Don't allow self-doubt to overcome your heart. And you know what I mean, like that's something that I've dealt with a lot, is self-doubt, and just understanding that you need to start somewhere to get the job done. You know, you can spend all the time in the world procrastinating and saying you're going to do it, but if you don't put one foot in front of the other, then you're not going to get nowhere.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? And just believe in yourself, and don't let other people, you know, just put your dream on a pedestal and just, you know what I mean? Like, understand that you just need to put the work in, and the work needs to be done.
I can tell you hella discipline, man. I think that's one of your biggest, things that make you super successful. I can tell you're like super structured and disciplined.
Thank you. I mean, I need it. I need the structure, because I feel like without it, I would just be out here. Because when you have all this time, like, idle time is the devil's playground, and so like I can spend my time doing other shit, and it's not gonna get me nowhere.
Let's go.
But in order for me to, be successful and get to where I want to be, I need to be consistent with it, and I need to make sure that I'm on, you know what I mean? I keep myself in check.
Yes, sir.
And so I feel like that's very important. And understanding that time is not something that you're going to get back. I could, if I spend money, I'm going to get it back.
Yeah.
Through this work that I put in. Not saying be careless with your money, of course, you know what I'm saying? Be smart with it. But understand that time you lose and whatever time you spend on bullshit or whatever you decide to spend your time on, you're not going to get that time back.
Let's go.
So water whatever's going to water you. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
so
okay.
make sure that you stay consistent and that you keep yourself in check and don't bullshit your time, because once you lose that time, you're not going to get it back. You spend months on something that is not replenishing you, and that's just time that you're not going to get back. Now you have to work double time. You know
who's teaching you all this, man? How you getting all this knowledge, man? It's like you're seasoned, bro.
It's
for
just
29.
things that I've learned and things that I've, through trial and error and through just mental battles day in and day out, that I've learned. You know what I mean? Like, one thing I don't play about is my time now.
Yeah.
I don't like wasting my time. You know what I mean? And so time is just very precious to me. And that doesn't mean that I won't that doesn't mean that I don't cut off opportunities or whatever the case may be, because within every experience within my life is, I'm going to learn and I'm going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I am disciplined with myself about a lot of the things that I do, I make sure that I enjoy my life as well, because, I never know when I'm going to go. You know what I mean? And I need to understand that every day needs to be enjoyed, but at the same time, work needs to be done. And so I guess it just comes from a lot of trial and error, and a lot of years of fucking up, and a lot of years of understanding that, I just need to be on my shit.
Bro, that's one of the biggest things I'm trying to learn right now is that balance, bro. Working hard, going hard all the time, that's not healthy. Even mentally, it's not healthy. I'm trying to find that balance too as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like I'm working on it. I don't have it figured out myself, but having a schedule and understanding when to, I feel like I'm in the studio a lot, and I spend time with my son a lot, which is what matters. And I guess prioritizing the things that matter.
Absolutely.
And having time for them.
Yeah.
And making sure that you're in, you have things organized, and that, because us, like, being a creative and having a creative platform is difficult at times, because, it's not a 9 to 5. You don't walk into work, clock in, stock the shelves, take a lunch, and then, you know what I'm saying, go home and then just do it. You don't look at that 9 to 5 schedule all the time. Nope. So it's very difficult trying to find that balance. But I guess as long as you're enjoying the journey and getting the job done, and that's the balance in itself.
That's true.
I guess that's the best way that I could put it.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And so once you look at it, I guess instead of stress, because this is what I would say to myself, instead of me stressing out so much about finding the right schedule, just make sure that I'm giving time to what matters.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
That's the way that I would think about it.
Hey, you need to podcast yourself, bro. Hey, you're a deep brother.
Yeah, I just, you know what I mean? And these are the things that I just think about consistently and every day, and this is what gets me through a day-to-day basis, and that's what's going to help me grow as a person. So now I just have to apply it to my life, and once I apply it to my life, then, you know what I mean? That's a big thing about this year, and within these recent years. And I feel like within this journey of me trying to become a better artist and starting my music career, like, it's just, I've learned so much. And it's just, I've been able to learn a lot, but also apply it to my life. And
you need to start talking more, bro. You definitely need to start talking more, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying.
Absolutely. What's Bishop Snow's favorite lowrider, bro?
Oh, I have a lot of favorite lowriders, but my personal one, my dream lowrider is a 79 Monte Carlo.
Oh, okay. Me too, bro. Me too. I'm looking for it right now. But you had one of those in your music videos, the training day. The training day lowrider.
Yeah, so there's that one. That's the homie Rubens, and then I had another one in the Truth, which is the homegirl Monique's. So I've worked with two of those, and then I love that car all around.
So
you know
nasty,
what I mean?
bro.
And yeah, it's a beautiful car. But my dream car, is that lowrider, but also a 96 Impala.
96, okay.
Yeah, a 96 Impala. So those are like my dream whips. Like,
bro, I can see you in the 96 for sure.
Man.
Loud pipes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had one for the video I did in Vegas. We had it for a little bit though, but they were raffling it off, and I got one of the spots in the raffle for it, and it's a 96 Impala on 26 Forgiatos with a matching Forgiato steering wheel. Woo. Tinted windows, everything, like 5% system, all of it. Like I was like, oh my God, I just want to drive back to California for real. But yeah, they're gonna end up raffling it off, and then we'll see if I won. So
I heard that, bro.
Man,
hope you win that one, man.
I hope so. I got number 24. So you know what I'm saying. We'll see if number 24 pays off for me.
Bro, let's get into some funny questions, man. Let's mix it up, man. We got a little, getting too deep, bro, for a brother, but we need to mix it up for a different crowd a little bit. Have a little fun, bro.
Go ahead, I'm ready.
Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
In a relationship, bro, do you think she go 50-50 in relationship?
Depends on the financial status, of course. I mean,
hey, remember you have Mexican now. That's the part. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my grandpa would fucking kill me, but you know what I mean on that. But I mean, we live in a crazy world where it's expensive as shit. So you know what I mean. Of course, if I'm gonna always pay, and if, financially, if I'm available for it, I'm gonna pay for it. You know what I mean, and make sure that shit is paid for and taken care of. But I don't know, people's situations differ. You know what I'm saying?
Should a man pay for everything?
Yeah, that's how I feel like it should be. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like different situations hold true to different people. But like I said, I'll make sure I can pay for shit.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? And if I'm able to drive and do all that and make sure that I'm the one doing it, then I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I heard that, Bishop Snow.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get another one.
Go ahead.
Do you think a female should have a whole face?
A whole face?
Woo! Hey, choose your next words carefully.
Yeah, I guess you got to grow somewhere and figure it out. I don't know. I don't know. Nah, I feel like females could go through a lot in life and figure out shit without a whole face. But as long as you ain't fucking the homies, you know what I'm saying. As long as you ain't getting ran through by the homies, and you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. Whole faces are crazy because if you would have female out in public and I don't know. There's situations where you with a female out in public and then, let's see somebody they used to fuck with and then you just like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'll try not to overthink it, but if you're going to go through the whole face, do your thing.
I heard that, man. Hey, ain't with me. I'm going to look with you. Nuh-uh. Absolutely not.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Gotta learn somewhere, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, would you let one of your homies date one of your exes?
I feel like that ain't really if they my homie, they not finna fuck with one of my exes. If they really one of my homies, and I have a very small friend group.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a unsaid thing to us that if you we don't fuck with nothing that anything else is fucked with, even just fucking with you don't do that. But dating, we don't do that. But like I said, if you one of the homies for real, then you're not gonna do that. Personally, I feel like a lot of men try, a lot of guys try and keep it cool and just be like, nah, like it's just a female. But in reality, morally, that shit ain't right.
Bro, it'll bother me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean. I can't. I ain't gonna give you that. Okay, but if you do it, then I ain't gonna be around y'all.
Would it bother you? Would it bother you?
I mean, yeah, personally, yeah. I ain't gonna be around y'all. What the fuck? Cause if she my ex, then I took it serious at one point.
Right.
So I ain't gonna like just look past it. You know what I mean?
To me, that's weird. Like, why would you want to even kick with one of my exes, bro?
Yeah, I mean, if also too, if it's like an ex from like middle school, I don't like. All right, come on now.
I don't
know
give
what
a
I mean?
shit. Middle school, preschool, kindergarten, absolutely.
But like I said, with the homies that I have, like if at any point in time, like somebody's been with somebody, like we don't do that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Have Bishop Snow been through your girl's phone before?
Nah, I don't do that shit. Nah. I choose peace of mind and positivity.
Come on, Bishop, tell the truth now.
I'd rather
tell the truth.
Nah, hell nah.
I don't give a shit.
I ain't never been through a phone. Yeah, I can't do it personally because I don't know. I guess I try and tell myself I don't give a fuck enough. Which I mean, I guess like I don't know. I just don't really overthink it that much.
I feel you.
I'm an overthinker like a motherfucker, and so like I don't want to overthink it that much. And like I said, I'd rather just choose peace of mind and positivity. If
I feel you.
You know, somebody take my shorty and she was never mine.
Let's go, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I've done it before, man, but I did feel like a sucker afterwards, though. I felt like a little sucker.
I mean, hey, sometimes if you got to do it for some peace of mind, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's somebody you taking seriously, like that goes back to wasting time. Right. I'm not finna waste my time.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, like if I'm around a female, then she's getting my time, and I ain't wasting that shit.
Let's go, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you,
straight
bro.
up.
100%. What's Bishop Snow's favorite taco shop?
Taco shop in the east side, Armando's, right there on Mission Avenue, right before you get to San Diego Street. So the first taco shop in the east side, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Well, I mean, it depends too. If they're closing, I'll go to the Alberto's down the street, which is literally on the next block over on Holly. So I really don't eat too many taco spots outside of the east side, unless I'm in Vegas, and of course I have to switch it up, and then I have like a select few out in Vegas too. But there's one in LA that I go to whenever I'm in LA, and that's Angel's Tacos, and it's like down the street from Angel Stadium or from Dodger Stadium, and that's that spot. They're all the brothers. Damn.
My God, you're Mexican. You part Mexican, right? Please now. Who has the best tacos, LA or San Diego?
Daygo.
Okay, man. All about to say, baby. Okay.
Daygo. Okay. It's just that spot. Like they don't have that spot in San Diego, so like if I'm in LA, then that's where I'm gonna go is to Angel's Tacos. But here for sure. Cause I don't really like leave. I don't know. I'm in Oceanside most of the time.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna go to the studio, I'm gonna go to the taco shop first. I'm gonna go to Armando's and get, you know what I'm saying, what I get. And which I mean I switch it up from time to time. But some homemade Mexican food ain't bad sometimes either.
I heard that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it a lot, man. I'm blessed, man. I got a little
some chilaquiles, you know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy that shit.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. I'm lucky. You know, I got my old lady, she cooks at home.
Yeah,
you know
that's the best.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man.
It's a good thing about Mexican women. It's the best thing.
Absolutely. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? That's that shit, man. They can cook. You know what I mean? So I love that shit.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, man? Before we get out of here, bro, you got anything dropping here pretty soon? New music, album, or anything?
I have a lot of new music. I have a lot of new music that's different. I've kind of, I guess more so now, I've made a lot more newer music that's kind of outside of the G-Funk realm. I have a song that I'm saving with Honorable C-Note.
Wow.
He sent me a beat, just, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like, you know, on the business side of things, but it was just out of love. Like, he just sent it to me. He was like, I want to work with you, and you know what I'm saying? I wrote to it. He sent it back mixed. I'm working on a collaboration EP with Ace Beats out of Pomona, but he's produced a lot of majority of Doggy Style stuff. Shout out Doggy Style from the Dino. Good homie of mine.
He's dope, bro.
Yeah, he is. And so Ace has done a majority of his. Triz, they've worked with Snoop, X-Rated, Brother Lynch, you know, and Ace is an amazing producer. You know what I mean? And so we have a collaboration EP coming. I'm working on my solo project, which is definitely gonna be away from majority G-Funk stuff that I've been doing.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And so just getting the sound right, but more so the lyrical content right, and discussing things that are just more so on a upward motion. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So yeah, definitely trying to take a different route so that way I'm not stuck in and you know what I mean, talk about my day-to-day life too, more so than, you know what I mean. I feel like it's just so easy to talk about the shit that I've been through and somewhat negative on a negative aspect of things, you know what I'm saying? So like, how do I switch it up? That's my biggest thing.
You know, you get a really prominent sound, especially on the West Coast. Do you sometimes fear like if you switch your style up a little bit, your fan base won't gravitate towards it? You know?
No, but I so the sounds that I experiment with, because at the same time it's not like I'm just switching completely and doing like a reggaeton sound or like a, you know what I'm saying, or like a country sound. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to switch fully to that. I'm still staying in a lane that's not too far from what I'm doing. So it's basically like I'm working with the same producers, but we're just taking a different route.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I feel like the approach that I'm taking, you know what I mean, it'll definitely resonate with my crowd, but at the same time I try not to think about it like if it's gonna sit with my new crowd, but it'll just expand the crowd that I do have.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's not like I'm just leaving the G-Funk sound forever, but I feel like I need to expand on what I'm doing already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so working on getting different features, and like I said, a lot of different influence. Like I guess some people I didn't stay earlier is like Ramirez or like Suicide Boys or like,
oh shit,
you know, like a lot of different sounds that I'm studying, but I'm trying to make sure that the sound is right on my end first before I'm not just gonna make it and see if it sounds cool. Like I want to perfect it. So like working on trap beats and working on these different types of sounds, like I'm working on it first. I'm writing several songs before I even release anything because I want to make sure that the sound is right. Like I don't want to just put out some shit and then hopefully it like sits right. Like I want to become I want to have my own sound. Like I'm not like listening to Future and trying to copy his flows. Like I'm trying to make my own sound within that same genre, but just using different beats.
That's dope, bro.
You know,
perfectionist over here, bro. I love it.
Trying. Man, I guess that really, you know, I just try and make sure that everything is right to the T. Like cross all my T's and dot all my I's.
You know, we learn from other people, man, and you know, through this interview, I learned a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for coming on, man. I'm proud of you. I see you doing a lot of things, even in the community. Earn your vote. I seen you doing that. You're speaking to the kids and shit in Oceanside.
Yeah, I'm starting
super dope, bro.
Yeah, that was definitely dope. The city of Oceanside, some of the council members requested for me to be a part of that, and then they asked some of the youth who they would want to hear speak, and they said me. So,
wow,
you know, it's definitely a blessing, and to be able to do that and speak and you know, just be heard, you know, and right. You know, speak to the youth from that point of view. And so, you know, it's like I said, it kind of all fits into that, you know, mentality of trying to be better and living on a more positive lifestyle, you know what I mean? And
absolutely,
you know, it comes a time you gotta grow. You know, you can't you know, you want to make sure that your foundation is the same, but you know, you need to grow.
Absolutely, bro.
You know,
man. Once again, bro, I think you need to talk more. You know what I mean? I heard other interviews, but bro, you're a very deep brother, man, and a lot of people need to hear this wisdom because they can learn from it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, bro, like I said, I appreciate you for coming down, man, and kicking with a brother, bro. Like, to me, it's a far drive, but you know, you made it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
There's anything you want to leave to your audience before we head out of here, though?
Oh, man, to anybody that's been along for the ride or coming, you know what I mean, that's brand new on the ride, like, thank you for the support. I appreciate everything, you know, all of it, every second of it. To the people that even, you know, have helped me along the way with learning, you know what I mean. There's so many people that I can name, you know what I mean. Shout out to Mad Strange, shout out to, you know, all the brands that I work with, Pro Club, FB County, like, for giving me an opportunity and seeing that I'm trying to, you know, grow and build my platform, you know, and helping me along the way and inviting me to, you know, these different events and just having faith in me. Like I said, Mad Strange, just, you know, really just putting everything into my dream and helping me really just grow and become a better artist and being patient with me and understanding that it takes time. Andres and Daniel, you know what I mean, the owners of Mad Strange, my manager, my videographer, that's, you know what I mean, without them, you know, I wouldn't you know, I would definitely be behind on everything. Everyone that's really just supported me, you know what I mean? Shit, everybody that's really, you know what I mean? It takes a village, and that's something that I've really, you know what I mean, come to understand. All the artists that have worked with me and that have really put faith in me, Yellow Hill, Doggy Style, D-Boy, you know what I mean? And everyone that's coming along the way. You know, we got a lot of work to do, but we're going to make it happen. So, you know, shout out to everyone that's helping out.
Big Snow, man. Bishop Snow in the building, man. Big Hendo, you know what I mean? Please go support this artist, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very humble brother. You know, very deep brother, man. And your music is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you.
Definitely a pillar in our community in Southern, you know, Southern California, West Coast. But so, bro, keep on killing it, man. Keep on killing it. I appreciate you for coming down. I'm humble for you to be here because I'm a big fan. I've been listening to your shit for a little bit, man. So
Thank you.
Keep on pushing and keep on putting out that amazing music, bro.
Appreciate it.
But yo, Hendo, man. Hendo Unplugged, Bishop Snow, man. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Right.
Hell yeah.